The chapter begins with Charles and Diana emerging from the oppressive darkness of Castle Dracula. Their faces marked by the strain of their narrow escape. They stumble through the desolate landscape surrounding the castle, their minds racing with the terror they have experienced and the grim realization that their ordeal is far from over. As dawn breaks, Charles and Diana make their way to the nearest village, desperate to find help and refuge. Exhausted and frightened, they arrive at a small, isolated community. Their arrival is met with suspicion and curiosity from the villagers, who are wary of strangers and the strange circumstances surrounding their appearance. The villagers direct Charles and Diana to Father Sandor, a local priest known for his knowledge of the supernatural. They are guided to a modest but well-kept rectory on the outskirts of the village. The building exudes a sense of calm and safety that contrasts sharply with the horrors they have faced. Father Sandor is depicted as a wise and steadfast figure, a man of deep faith and considerable experience in dealing with the occult. He listens intently to Charles and Diana's harrowing account of their encounter with Dracula, his expression growing grave as the details of the story unfold. The priest's demeanor reflects both concern and a sense of foreboding as he absorbs the full extent of their plight. After hearing their story, Father Sandor takes Charles and Diana under his wing, offering them both shelter and guidance. He reassures them that they are now safe from immediate harm but emphasizes the urgency of their situation. He explains the true nature of Dracula, revealing the Count's insatiable thirst for blood and his power over those he has transformed. Father Sandor provides a thorough explanation of Dracula's vampiric nature and the history of his malevolent deeds. He explains that Dracula is not merely a powerful vampire but a creature of ancient and profound evil. Dracula's resurrection marks a significant threat, as he possesses the strength and cunning to spread his dark influence far beyond the confines of the castle. The priest elaborates on the vampire's weaknesses and the methods to combat him. He explains that Dracula can be repelled by sacred symbols, such as crosses, and that garlic and holy water are effective deterrents. Father Sandor also discusses the importance of staking a vampire's heart and the use of sunlight as a potent weapon against the undead. With Father Sandor's guidance, Charles and Diana begin their preparation for the inevitable confrontation with Dracula. The chapter delves into the process of readying themselves for battle, both physically and mentally. They gather supplies, including weapons blessed by the priest and other essential tools for combating the undead. Father Sandor provides Charles and Diana with detailed instructions on how to use the sacred artifacts and weapons. He demonstrates the proper techniques for handling the stakes and using holy water effectively. His teachings are both practical and spiritual, aiming to fortify their resolve and equip them with the knowledge they need to face Dracula. As they prepare, Charles and Diana undergo a period of emotional and spiritual introspection. They grapple with their fears and uncertainties, finding solace in their faith and in each other. Father Sandor offers them counsel and reassurance, emphasizing the importance of courage and unity in the face of evil. The priest leads them in a ritual of protection, invoking divine blessings and seeking guidance from higher powers. This ritual serves as a moment of reflection and strength for Charles and Diana, reinforcing their commitment to the fight against Dracula and solidifying their resolve to rescue Helen and defeat the vampire. The chapter builds a sense of urgency as Father Sandor emphasizes the need to act swiftly. Dracula's influence is growing, and the longer they delay, the greater the risk to those still under his thrall. Father Sandor stresses the importance of timing and preparation, underscoring the gravity of their mission. As they complete their preparations, Charles and Diana are equipped with the necessary tools and armed with newfound knowledge. They feel a mix of determination and trepidation as they prepare to face Dracula once more, fully aware of the challenges that lie ahead. The chapter concludes with Charles and Diana readying themselves to confront Dracula. Their time with Father Sandor has not only provided them with practical tools and knowledge but has also reinforced their inner strength and conviction. The stage is set for the impending confrontation, with the characters poised to engage in a battle against the dark forces that threaten to consume them. The chapter opens with Dracula's castle shrouded in a sinister twilight, the atmosphere thick with tension and malevolence. Following the preparations made by Charles and Diana with Father Sandor, Dracula's reach has grown more threatening. In a bold and calculated move, Dracula captures Diana, using her as a pawn to lure Charles into a trap. Diana's capture is portrayed with intense drama. Dracula, wielding his dark powers, overpowers her and transports her back to his castle. The scene is filled with a sense of impending doom, as Diana is brought into the depths of the castle, where the air is thick with dread. The Count's intentions are clear. He aims to use Diana to bait Charles into a direct confrontation. Charles, devastated by the loss of his wife, is determined to rescue her. With Father Sandor's guidance and assistance, he prepares to return to the castle. The priest, now a crucial ally, offers strategic advice and support, helping Charles to understand the best approach for infiltrating the castle and dealing with Dracula. The planning is meticulous. Father Sandor provides Charles with additional tools and weapons, including blessed stakes and holy water. They also devise a strategy to approach the castle stealthily, aiming to avoid detection by Dracula's minions. The tension is palpable as they ready themselves for the perilous mission ahead. Charles and Father Sandor make their way to the castle, navigating the treacherous terrain with a sense of urgency. The journey is fraught with danger, as they encounter various obstacles and creatures loyal to Dracula. Their path is marked by suspenseful encounters and narrow escapes, highlighting the ever-present danger of their quest. As they approach the castle, the sense of foreboding grows. The castle looms ominously, its dark silhouette casting a long shadow over the land. The scene is set for the impending confrontation, with Charles and Father Sandor preparing to face the horrors within. Once inside the castle, Charles and Father Sandor move cautiously through the dark, labyrinthine corridors. The atmosphere inside is oppressive, filled with the echoes of Dracula's dark power. They use the cover of darkness and their knowledge of the castle's layout to avoid detection. The tension escalates as they encounter Dracula's vampire minions, engaging in brief but intense skirmishes. Each encounter tests their resolve and skill, but they manage to push forward, driven by the urgency of their mission and the need to rescue Diana. The climax of the chapter centers around the final confrontation with Dracula. Charles and Father Sandor reach the heart of the castle, where Dracula holds Diana captive. The scene is charged with dramatic intensity, as Dracula emerges from the shadows to confront his adversaries. A fierce and violent battle ensues. Dracula, now fully revived and powerful, demonstrates his formidable strength and cunning. The fight is depicted with vivid, gripping detail, showcasing the clash between the forces of good and evil. Charles and Father Sandor face Dracula's supernatural abilities and his vampiric minions in a desperate struggle. The battle is characterized by high stakes and relentless action. Charles fights with determination, using the tools and weapons provided by Father Sandor. The struggle is brutal, with Dracula displaying both physical prowess and dark magic. Father Sandor supports Charles, using sacred artifacts and incantations to weaken Dracula and protect them from harm. The scene alternates between intense combat and moments of strategy. Charles and Father Sandor coordinate their efforts, using their knowledge of Dracula's weaknesses to their advantage. The fight is marked by its chaotic energy, with Dracula's power seeming nearly insurmountable at times. Throughout the battle, Diana remains a central focus. She is depicted as being in a state of distress, her transformation into a vampire adding to the emotional weight of the scene. Charles's determination to save her drives the conflict, adding a personal dimension to the larger struggle against Dracula. The chapter captures the emotional turmoil of the situation, highlighting Charles's desperation and his unwavering love for Diana. The tension between rescuing her and defeating Dracula adds depth to the confrontation. As the battle progresses, Charles and Father Sandor begin to gain the upper hand. They exploit Dracula's vulnerabilities, using the holy water and stakes effectively. The priest's knowledge and the strategic use of sacred artifacts play a crucial role in turning the tide of the battle. Dracula's power, while formidable, begins to wane under the relentless assault. The chapter builds to a climactic moment where Charles and Father Sandor manage to overcome Dracula's defenses. The confrontation reaches a fever pitch, with each side pushing their limits in the struggle for supremacy. The chapter concludes with a dramatic resolution to the confrontation. Charles and Father Sandor, despite the tremendous odds, succeed in their mission. Dracula's defeat is depicted with a mixture of relief and exhaustion, marking a significant victory in their battle against evil. Diana is rescued, though her condition remains a concern. The chapter ends with a sense of both triumph and uncertainty, as Charles and Father Sandor reflect on the cost of their victory and the challenges that still lie ahead. The battle has been fierce, but the fight against the dark forces is far from over.